And I can actually almost tear that off. But this is a little kind of weak, dead shoot at the base, so I'm just taking that off. You want me to pass it around? Basic idea is to open the rose up. You can see this already has kind of a nice open shape in the center. And we want to have an open shape because that allows the air and the sunlight in to lessen diseases. Because roses, depending on where you're growing them, if they're very crowded, they tend to get a lot of plant diseases, etc. So the opening up allows the sunlight in. And with our pruning, we want to encourage or keep that open shape, kind of like a vase or cup shape. So where to start? Well, a lot of you have roses and have pruned roses, and okay, so a lot of you kind of have a general knowledge, and I like the last paragraph on that yellow sheet. It's, you know, like giving a kid a haircut. So, you know, don't stress out about it. You know, if you want to even just grab it and chop, go ahead. You know, it will grow back. Roses are very forgiving with water and fertilizer.
But not your kids. You grab the hair.
They'll come back. And I was talking to a customer today, and they were saying there's even some new theories of just doing exactly what I said, just chopping straight across for all types of roses. But I have a few roses, so I like to be a little more selective. And what we're looking for, like I said, is we're going to get rid of the dead wood. I see a dead stem here. I'm just going to lop that off. And then we're going to select on your green sheet, I think it might talk about just traveling down the rose cane with your eye. Of course, we see a leaflet here. And then our cut, we always want to cut above a leaflet, because that's where the new growth will come out this spring. So I've cut just above this leaflet, and I get rid of that too. Eventually we'll completely defoliate or strip this whole plant and clean up around it for lessening the disease and sending it into a short dormancy. Although with this weather, I don't know what it's going to do.
When cutting back, you don't want to be too far away from the bud or too close to the bud. If you're too close, you may kill the bud, in which case the stem will die back to the following bud. If you're too far away, there will be a piece of dead wood right on top. Okay, so just say maybe a 1/4 inch from the bud above at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then preferably maybe a little, I think your sheet tells a little bit of a slant inward.
Crisscrossing towards the middle, just take them out.
You're usually pretty safe just cutting anything crisscross or dead wood. That's going to make it a lot easier for you just to open it up and see what you're working with.
I don't know if you can see, but there's some tiny stems that are growing completely sideways, probably due to the shading of the tops. These I don't want to keep either. More crisscrossing here. These I'm cutting way back because these are just stems I don't want.
So I find people have, some are heavy pruners, some are light pruners. I tend to be a heavy pruner one year, and then I watch the rows and I see, okay, I'm not getting as many flowers as I like, and well, maybe that's from not enough water or fertilizer, but so next year I'll go lighter just to kind of play with the rose, so to speak, just to see how it responds. It's usually above that. But this stem, I think, was like up here, and if it had a rose on it, we would come down here and either cut it at this 5 leaflet or just above this 5 leaflet for a cut rose. For our dormant pruning, which we're doing right now, since we're taking it way back, we won't worry about that. But that's a good point. When you're cutting for a cut rose in the spring or summer, usually just cut right above the 5 leaflet. And so yeah, I'm sure a lot of you, I have a lot of roses too, which are still blooming. It kind of depends on how they're situated, but I would go ahead and cut them. It's sometimes hard, but go ahead and cut them for cut flowers. Sometimes they last, sometimes they just kind of fall apart.
And then after you cut them, then you...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, ma'am, in front.
No, after you cut them, then you would prune them.
Oh yeah.
Do your winter pruning.
Yeah.
So get them off, enjoy the flowers, and then go out the next day.
Do your winter pruning.
Whack away.
Today or whenever. They usually say by Valentine's Day your roses should be pruned, so sooner the better.
You prune down to a bud, just above. The buds will have a direction. This one's going this way, this one's going this way, this one's going to go this way. Since you want to keep an open shape, encourage the buds that are facing outward.
What is a sucker?
A sucker would be a shoot that's coming from below the ground, below the soil. And that's usually growing from the rootstock of the rose. So I think as your sheets indicate, you want to get rid of the sucker because it's sapping the strength of the top part of the rose. And a good way just to get rid of a sucker is just to get a good hold of it, and you can just usually give it a quick jab or pull it. And the reason you do that is it's breaking it away from the rootstock, and then it's less of a tendency to resprout. If you cut it, it tends to resprout. But if you can just pull it really quickly, you might get some of the cambium layer, so it won't resprout.